I wanted to look into some of this week's news. So I get some of my stuff from Ride the News, which is an Instagram. I think they have a newsletter, but I follow their Instagram, and they're basically news without any political ties, and they just talk about whatever's in the news, and that's it. And and yeah, that's about it. So this week there's a few interesting ones. Yeah, okay, got a couple here. All right. Okay, let's start off with our first little story. It's nothing crazy, but United puts up $10 million for flying taxis. United Airlines made $10 million down payment for 100 electric flying taxis. Archer Aviation, a California company, is developing the taxi, electronic aircraft that can take off and land vertically like helicopters. The model purchased by United operates in cities and seats 4. United intends to distribute the taxis in 2 cities where it has hubs, initially charging $110 to $120 for a ride to the airport. Archer says it will cut airport travel times up to an hour to 5 minutes. That was very bad English, and I don't think that was me. I think that's how it's written. Yeah. From an hour to 5 minutes. Archer expects to gain FAA certification by late 2024 and begin commercial operations soon after. I don't. I mean, that's cool, but I don't know how you do that. Well, I mean, most buildings, I guess, in major cities do have helipads. That's interesting. It's different. I don't know. I mean, that could work. I don't know. I feel like I get the convenience of it, but I don't know how big something like that could necessarily become. It's really hard to know. I'd be curious. We might find out in 4 or 5 years how crazy it is. But okay, story number 2. Canada's on pace to spend 200 million Canadian dollars on medical marijuana for veterans this year. Studies suggest marijuana can help treat anxiety, chronic pain, and PTSD. Canada has reimbursed veterans for medical marijuana purchases since 2008. Since 2016, it has reimbursed purchases up to 3 grams a day at Canadian $8.50 a gram. This year, reimbursements will be 30% higher than 2021 and 135% higher than 2019. In the United States, which considers weed a Schedule I drug, similar policies are illegal. In 2018, Canada became the second country to legalize weed after Uganda. What? Not Uganda, Uruguay. I'm such a blonde sometimes. I'm sorry. U.S. inflation cooling. Story number 3. Year-over-year inflation in July was 8.5%, a drop from the 41-year high 9.1 recorded in June. Average prices in July were no higher than in June, largely due to falling energy prices, which including drops in the prices of gas and other highly volatile goods. Prices were 0.3% higher in July than June. Between June and July, gas prices fell 7.7%. Airfare, used cars, apparel prices also fell. Rents, grocery prices, and restaurant prices continued to rise. I don't like those. I would prefer if those dropped. Inflation was less than economists had forecasted, giving some hope that price hikes may be slowed. Stocks surged on the news. I hope so. Another thing that happened in the news recently, which makes a lot of sense. Disney has surpassed Netflix in subscribers, logging 121 million to Netflix's 221 million to Netflix's 220.7 million. Disney Stream's portfolio, which includes Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, gained 14.4 million subscribers from April to June, well above 10 million analysts expected. Well above the 10 million they expected. Netflix lost 1 million over that same period. Some believe that Disney's library, which includes Star Wars, Marvel, current cable TV shows, and sports, gives it a long-term edge over Netflix. This week, Disney Plus announced that its $8 basic service will now run ads. The cheapest ad-free service will cost $11, 38% more than before. Disney's trying to get a little bit of extra cash on the side there, guys. EU rethinks lavender oil. The EU has proposed reclassifying lavender oil as harmful substance. Lavender oil is an essential oil used to calm nerves and improve mood. The move is in response to new studies that show lavender oil may alter hormone levels and increase cancer risk. If the EU classifies the oil as hazardous, it will be labeled with skull and crossbones. The planned change is prompting a backlash in France, where the lavender industry generates 26,000 jobs. The EU says the rules will protect people and the planet. Farmers say they're discriminatory. I feel like the farmers probably need to get their head out of their ass a little bit. I mean, I get it's their jobs, but there has been other studies to show that there are certain plants and certain stuff used in like lotions and shit like that does have an effect on hormone levels in men, especially in young men in particular. And a recent story that kind of shows that is, I think this was like maybe a month ago. I think there was a 2 or 3 year old, maybe it's 3 or 4, somewhere around that age, got in the news because he has almost as high testosterone levels as an adult male, if not, I think higher. I think it's about the same. So this kid is 3 or 4, and he has pubic hair. He's shredded and has a shit ton of extra muscle mass. He's tall for his age, and he's already hit puberty at that age. And the whole reason being was because the father, without knowing it, was using a testosterone replacement cream or lotion to basically help him with his testosterone as he gets older, and without realizing was subsequently getting into his son's system and raising his testosterone. And there's also stuff where there's certain lotions have been found in women's lotion that has affected males in a negative way, where they've raised estrogen and thrown off hormones. And one of the main issues with like certain health issues and other stuff is hormone balance. So if something like that's off, I mean, yeah, it can cause a lot of effects. The body doesn't run optimally